Welcome, guys, everybody, to the fifth one, right? It's we're gonna use the lessons that we've previously learned, and we're gonna build this today. And I'll give it to Phil.
All right, cool. Thanks for
Start the show.
joining. How many people we got in here?
We got 12.
12? Oh my goodness. In the spotlight here. But hopefully I don't know, but hopefully it'll be like informative. I'm gonna turn off this server so you guys cannot go to it anymore, but this one I'm just hosting it with ngrok for a second. Um just turn it off. Now it's dead. And I'll teach you guys how to do that as well if you guys want. Um Let me see. All right, I'm gonna turn this guy off and we're going to start building. I'll hold on. Git status, git add, git commit, fixing types, push. All right, so we have always the complete folder right here is done, and then we'll start working in the Firebase Firestore chat. So let me just bring up my notes too. So to make this, we're going to need to do what we did last week, Firebase, but we're going to only use Google authentication this time. And we will use Firestore, and we'll use something called React Firebase hooks. So first thing we need to do, step one. Here, let me just copy paste this up here to make this README a little bit more legible. Just the packages. Packages like this. .env and Firebase. I will turn off my GitHub Copilot. Disable completions for Markdown. All right, so the first thing we need to do is set up the project. I thought we were going to need like Daisy UI and stuff, but let's just we're just gonna use CSS. So, and then the next thing we'll do after we install step two, initialize Firebase module, and then step three, we will build the welcome screen where people can log in. Step four, we're going to build a nav bar. So, oh shit. Nav bar. And this will be where people can sign out. And step five, start building chat component. And we'll build chat box, message, send message, and that's about it. So the chat box will hold all the messages. The message will show it like the little items, like the message person's like default photo and what message they're sending, and the send message will be the input to send the message. So let's get started. All right, get out of the complete folder. Let's go into Firebase, Firestore chat. All right. All right. npm run dev. All right. Let's get started. I put oh crap. That's all right. Now we have a localhost 5173. This is out of the box like Vite. I'm gonna put the chat over here. Sorry. And if you guys have any questions, just ask along as we go. Cover your face, Minnie. Hold on. Oh no, no, no. All right, here we go. All right. So the first thing we need to do is let's just get rid of this index.css. I don't think we need it. Cool. Now just close all these files and the tabs. Close the complete one. I'm gonna go into app.tsx. I'm gonna There is a CSS file in here, the app.css. I'll just copy paste this into my project. Boom. There we go. We lost all our CSS. So we're gonna have CSS selectors for like the app, the container, the nav bar that we're gonna create, the sign in, image, sign out, the welcome, the chat components, message wrapper, chat bubble right, chat bubble left, the username, and all these things. So let's just get started. And the app.tsx, I'll just delete this guy. And then we'll just say export default function app. Hold on, I'm gonna just turn this guy off too. All right. We'll just return div. Cool. Now we see a hello world in here. I think I should make this bigger too. Right. All right. So first thing we need to do is initialize the Firebase. So, where do we do that? So let's go in the src folder. Let's make a folder called Firebase. It's a little bigger like this. Is this an okay size? Can everyone see it?
Yeah, I think this one's good. Like
This
this.
one's good or this one's okay?
I like a little bit one large.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And inside of Firebase, I'm gonna make an index.ts folder. And this one, I'm going to put I'm gonna get import oh crap. I'm gonna turn on the GitHub Copilot for this one too. All right. We're gonna say import initialize app from Firebase app. Oh crap. We need to install the freaking things first. Oh, go back to the README. Let's get the stuff. But hold on, package.json. I think, yeah, this guy did not install any stuff yet. So we're gonna need stuff in here. So npm install .env -d. The -d flag is for dev dependency. To use the .env file, the environment variables. And we're gonna need these two packages, Firebase and the React Firebase hooks. So I'll just install those as well. And we'll give it a second. All right, cool. So now if we look in the package.json, we'll see that it has Firebase, React Firebase hooks, and then inside of the dev dependency, we'll see the .env. So go back here and close all the tabs so it doesn't get so messy. Whoops, that's the wrong file. It's lesson 4. We want to be in lesson 5, not the complete one. Here. Inside of the index.ts, we will import initialize app from Firebase app, and we will import, we're gonna need two modules. This one, it used to be namespaced. So if I look at the Firebase auth sign in with email and password, which we did last week, it used to be namespaced like this, but like you just carried around the whole Firebase library, the whole like code base, but they kind of made it a modular API, meaning like they split it up so you don't have to carry this huge library everywhere. So now the auth one is different, the get Firestore is different. So let's get started. So we're gonna import get auth. Whoops. Import get auth from Firebase auth, and we'll import get Firestore from Firebase Firestore. And let me just link some documentation here. You guys need it. Go, and then Firebase Firestore. Yeah, Firestore documentation. There we go. these are all cool packages. Firebase is an SDK. It's like a backend as a service. You can have your own NoSQL there. You can have your authentication. You can have your Lambda functions. It's just like AWS, but Google's AWS kind of. So, or one of their services. All right. So now we want to make the Firebase config, and I'm just gonna copy paste because these are my environment variables. There you go. So import meta env is how you do it in Byte. And I have these variables inside of my what is it called? My environment file. So if I just console.log Firebase, oops, config equals Firebase config, and I run node src Firebase index.ts. Whoops, it's not letting me run it. .ts. Okay. Well, screw it. Just won't do that. All right, so now we'll just do const app equals initialize app on the Firebase config. That's going to initialize our app, and then we're gonna do export const auth equals get auth. After it's initialized, export const db equals get firestore. And this would be the same thing as just saying like you could do like this, and then you could actually just export auth db like this. It would be the same thing, but I think this is a little bit cleaner. And export. When we pass these, we can pass the app inside of here. Just to make sure it's working, we can console.log app equals app. Initialize app. All right. Cool. And then we have to include this in the app.tsx. So now we'll just do import auth from /Firebase. And you can just, I want to just check something real quick. Console.log auth equals auth. npm run dev. Let's see. Post this here. Failed to resolve index.tss from main.tsx. Oh, that was the issue. We got rid of that one. All right, so we see the auth implementation, and then we see our API key and everything. So everything is initialized with Firebase. So that is that's cool. So now we need to make our welcome screen. So let's get started. I'm just gonna make a my bad guys, go make sure to watch the recording when it's uploaded. Okay, thank you for being here. So in the SRC, I'll make a components folder. And inside of here, I'll make whoops. I'll make a welcome.tsx. And then I will do export default function welcome. And I'll just return, well, whoops, div welcome screen here. All right, now I'll just do good practices, and I'll do git status, git add, git commit, exam. What did we do so far? Initialized app, installed .m, installed Firebase, made Firebase initializer. All right, cool. Commit should be very small and useful. And the commit messages can kind of just I feel like they well 1216 instructions is not, but I think that's the package.log JSON. But anyways, Your commit should be very small and digestible, because if you ask for a code review or something, the person that has to review it doesn't want to review like a bunch of lines or something. So, all right, cool. Let me just open this up as well. So, let's just import this welcome screen into the app.tsx at least. So I like to put third-party libraries on the top here, but I don't think we have third-party libraries anymore right now. So here, oh crap. All right, let's go. Like import welcome from /components/ welcome. And we will just use welcome here. Now we see welcome screen here. Cool. So now let's what do we say we're gonna do? That's not gonna help us. readme.md. Let's initialize Firebase module. We did that one. And then we can make the welcome screen. I'm going to need one photo, which is the what is it called? I need the button to sign in Google. I will copy this and I'll put it in the assets folder. Paste. There you go. So now we have access to this button here. All right, let's get started. And then I'll make this a little bit smaller and I'll bring up the welcome. Oh, well, this is the complete one. I'll bring up the welcome component so we can work here. I'll close the file tree and we can see the output. Cool. All right. So the first thing I want to do is I want to import that Google sign-in button image, Google sign in from /assets/button. And let's just display that thing real quick. So return on main. That's our main component. And then we'll just put a class name equals welcome. And if we look at the app.tsx, say at CSS inside of here, just try to find .welcome. So it's going to be a padding 30x, text line center, margin top 40x, and the color this. We can just change the color to anything we want later if we want. All right, so now we can just put some like heading, H2. We can say like welcome to chat. There you go. And then we'll put H1, let fill is fire. All right, there we go. And then P, sign in with Google to sign in to chat. There you go. Now how does this look? So welcome to chat, let fill is, should I put let fill? Just call it let fill chat. All right, there you go. Sign in with Google to sign into chat. And then now we need a button. Wait, hold on. CSS has taken effect. 1 second. Let's go back to the app.tsx. Main.tsx. We have to, 1 second. Let me just look real quick. And we're going to need the app.tsx and we're going to import the app.tsx. There we go. Cool. Oops. I'll just keep that log there. Welcome. Looks pretty. All right. And then let's bring up my notes. First thing we'll do is make a little button. And the class name will equal sign in. That's another class selector we have inside of our app.tsx. And we'll use an image tag. And we'll do the src equals on this Google sign-in image that we imported right here. And we'll do an alternative. So sign in with Google button. Cool. So now we have this guy, and we need to put a on click on him. So on click console.log Google sign in here. Cool. So now it's all connected. Sorry guys, I gotta sleep now. My eyes are burning. Just had 2 hours of sleep. Okay, Mirelli, see you next time. And now we have the Google sign in kind of set up. So let's get that done. Inside of the app.tsx, we're going to actually do like this. I'm gonna wrap everything with a div real quick. View, return, and div. There you go. And class name will be app. That's gonna give us our dark background here. Looks a little bit more complete. And okay, so now we need to make the Google login thing. So let's go. So yeah, welcome screen. And inside of the welcome screen. But before we start on this, I feel like I need to explain this. So this is our Firebase console. And in sign-in methods, I enabled email and password and I enabled Google. So this is something that needs to be enabled before you can use it. And then one more thing is wherever you're using it, you have to add the authorized domain. And that's how I authorized the ngrok to use it earlier. I'll just remove that now. So now let's put in the logic to sign the person in. Yeah, let's just finish that. All right. So we're going to use the auth module. Whoops. So we're going to use import auth, auth Firebase, and we're going to import Google auth provider from just Firebase auth, and import the method sign in with pop-up. There you go. So now we'll just make a nice little function helper. So we'll call it Google sign in equals and const provider equals on new Google provider auth provider. And then we'll sign in with pop up, and then we'll pass the auth module that we created earlier and pass the provider. That should work. So pass this guy into this on click here. And now the pop-up should pop up. There you are. Whoops. Something got blocked. Cross origin provider policy will block the window close call. So something is not set up yet. Let me see. I gotta maybe add localhost 5173 to the authenticator. So let's figure that out. Add domain. Add. Should work. Oh, boom. Refresh. Google sign in. Cross origin opener policy would block the window close call. What is that? Well, I think there's some more stuff that we need to do before we do it. So let's just keep going. All right.
Yeah, if you guys have any questions so far, please let us know.
Oh, we need to add the auth provider. So that's gonna get added later. So we're just gonna move on and it'll work afterwards. So let's keep going. So now we have the welcome screen. Now let's build the nav bar. Let's give it a second. We gotta add the hook, but I'll add the hook in a second. So let's make a nav bar. There we go. And then here, we'll start creating a nav bar. So 1 second. We're gonna just import that Google sign in image that we did earlier. And then import auth, Firebase, and then we're gonna import use auth state from the React Firebase hooks that we installed earlier. And that's a third-party one, so I'll put it on the top. And we'll do the import Google auth provider and the sign in pop-up sign. Sign in the pop-up. There you go. These are the tools that we're going to use. And then we're going to do const navbar, or let's just export default function navbar. Const user. And use auth state returns a user, like an array, but we need the first one, and that's the user. And right now it's null. Pass the auth module and const Google sign in. And this is just adding the function, so it's in the nav bar as well. Const Google sign in equals, and we'll just copy paste that from the welcome screen. There you go. There you go. And then const sign out equals auth.sign out. That'll be the sign out function. And then we'll return a nav with the class name equals navbar. And so now we need the H1, we'll call it let fill chat. And basically we're gonna make a ternary. So if the user signed in, we're gonna have a logout button. And if they're signed out, we're gonna have a sign in button. So user, so if the user is a truthy value, it'll show the logout button, and if it's not, it'll show the login button. And then here we'll just make a button, and we'll say class name equals sign out, and on click we'll just trigger that sign out function that we created. And just say sign out. And here, and ternaries are just like if else, but you can do them directly inside of the JSX. So button class name equals sign in, and we'll do the image to the on click equals the, what is it, Google sign in, and src equals on the Google sign in photo that we imported, and alt will equal the sign in with the, all right. Just want to check one thing. It's not the issue. All right. Well, now we have the nav bar. So now in the app.tsx, I will import nav bar, and me just check here, app.tsx. And then right there, I will put the nav bar here. Now we have a nice nav bar here. Oh, because I was already signed in. Sign out. Nope, that's not it. Sign out. But it's because I'm already remembered here. All right, never mind. All right, so we're also gonna bring in the import use auth state inside of here. So we need to listen to when the user changes or any authentication changes. And that's very similar to like on auth state change in Firebase, but it's just a wrapper for it. Use auth state. And we can just say const user equals use auth state. And we'll pass the auth module inside. Command period, import. And it's just, I want to console.log feature. So right now I'm signed out, it's null. If I sign in, let's see what happens. And now I have a user here. And I think I already signed in a couple times before. So it's just this error is not that huge. It's just that I've already signed in so many times that it remembers who I am. So if we see this JWT token, it should have my information. There, it's lead fill, my picture, auth time. That's what's coming in from Google. So that's the email and all this kind of stuff. So the things that we're going to take advantage of is the picture and the name. And I think that's going to be interesting. And cool. I'll just sign out here and then now it listens to it now and it's null again. Are you saying something, Minnie?
No. I was just
Oh.
taking notes for myself.
Yeah. So this error is not really like a big error. It's just I've signed in with Google so many times here on my computer that it just remembers who I am. As you can see, like it has the user implementation here, and then so I'll do it one more time. Sign with Google. It'll just sign me in. So it'll sign me in with the user, and I have access to my user. And now if I sign out, it'll listen to the user and I'll be null. So it's just a listener. It's using auth state. It's like a use effect with the listener on the use dependency array. And this would kind of be like there's on auth state changed from Firebase. And that's basically what we're using. It's using under the hood. So just for example, firebase.auth, and then they sign in with user and password, and then auth state changed. Just take a look. And then it just you can run this subscriber or this function inside of your app, and it'll listen to all the authentication changes, like sign in, sign out, update authentication user, and stuff like that. So just log this here for now. And just don't do the log here. All right, cool. And then we'll just do a git status, git add, git commit -m, added Google photo in assets to made welcome screen UI 3 made nav bar. Push to. All right, now let's just check our README. Whoops, it's the wrong README. Close everything. So now we made the welcome screen. We made the nav bar where people can sign out. Now we got to start building the meat of it, right? So let's go. So now we can kind of check the logged in state inside of app.tsx, right? Because we have access to user. So here we can do something like if user is null, right? We can show the welcome screen. Oops. And if it's true, we can just show like show chat stuff. All right. So now go back here. So if I log in, and then now I gotta show the chat stuff. So now we gotta start building it out. So this user, it became not null, so it's true. So it shows this stuff here. Does that everybody understand? Is everyone following along? If type 1 in the chat if it's all good. All right, cool. And let me know like if you guys have any questions. I know I'm going really fast, but we got to complete it before we hang up today. So that's my goal. Thank you for responding. All right, so now we need to show the chat stuff. So which one should we start with? I think we should start with the like the input, like the send message stuff. So let's get started. All right. 1 second. .tsx. We have a chat box. And the chat box, we have the send message. Let's actually make the chat box first. The container for the whole chat component. So, inside of Firebase, Firebase. All right. Instead of components, we'll make something called chatbox.tsx. All right, Adrian, later. We'll make a chat box. We're gonna import stuff like import, use effect, use ref. We're gonna use a reference. So that's gonna help us with the scroll, use state, and then from React. Those are hooks that we're going to use. Use effect is kind of like means like use side effect, but basically people use it like on mount. So whenever the file is rendered or something, it calls a function and then it changes on a change the variable in the dependency array. And I'll show you guys that in a second. And then we need to use things from Firestore, which are kind of like querying the database and stuff like that. So import, we need a couple things. We need query, we need collection, we need order by. So, and we need on snapshot, which is the actual like socket connection or like the listener for the database, the subscriber, and then limit. So query is how we start a query. Collection is the collection that we're gonna hook into, which is gonna be called like messages. And then order by is another function from Firestore. It's so we can sort them. On snapshot, like I said, is the listener, and then limit is limiting how many documents we want to retrieve. So we'll take those stuff from Firebase Firestore, and give me a second. One second. All right. Cool. So now we also need to get the DB that we made to get Firestore from the Firestore index. So import DB from, gotta put in curly braces, DB from // Firebase. There you go. And then we need to get the, we need to create these things. So 1 second. So let's go export default function chat box. And that's going to be our whole chat room container. And let's do return div. It's going to be called chat box. And then we'll just do some stuff here. The first thing we're going to need is our state variable. So const messages, set messages equals use state. And I'll just put that to an array. And we'll put a type on this later. I'm just put any array. Bad practice, but we'll make the type later. And const scroll equals use ref. Just for now. And we'll just put a use effect in here as well. Like this is just a callback, so I think I liked me personally, I like to name my callbacks. So I say like maybe like const get messages. And then or we can do, so the correct way to log stuff is maybe /src /components / inside a chat box. And I put a colon and then use effect, and then you can put like and then you can put like the function name that is getting called in, get messages. And you can say get messages equals, and then or yeah, whatever variable you want to. And then you can actually pass get messages in this callback here. So that I feel like that makes it a little bit cleaner, but it's not necessary. So now we need to import chatbox in the app.tsx. Import chatbox from /components/chatbox. So instead of this div, we will now import chatbox. Chatbox. Cool. Just give me a second. And now we have chatbox, and it's gonna call this use effect here, and it calls it twice because it's in strict mode. That's like some weird thing that they got. So yeah. So now we have the chat box here, and now let's get started. Let me just read through my notes real quick. All right. So out of here, we're gonna need a main UI. So that's just semantic HTML. Class name equals chat box. And then we have our div class name equals messages wrapper. There you go. And then we'll just stick some stuff in here like put messages mapping in here, map in here. And then you need a span, a ref equals scroll ref that we made earlier. And then just soft close him. And then we can do the input here. So basically this is what a chat room kind of looks like. So we gotta put things into the Firestore. So the Firestore database right now is let me just put this guy over here. It's pretty empty. Just wait for it. I don't know why it's so slow recently. Let's just keep going. So the next component I would like to make is that input to kind of post things into the Firestore. So cool. Okay, so there we go. These are our messages that we inserted earlier from the complete one. So we got messages from, I don't know, Kit, TSA, Eugene, and we got all these people messaging in here. So we already have messages in there, so we can make our query. All right, before we post in there. So inside of the chat box is going to be where our main query will be in our use effect. So let's get started on that. We're going to make a query, compound query from Firestore. So well, let me just bring that up. So all right, so const q will equal query. So that's the query coming from here. So how are we going to query? Where do we want to query first? So we'll say collection. So we gotta say, and we gotta pass in the DB, and then we're gonna we're gonna select the messages. So that's gonna be the messages from here. And maybe before we start the query, we should like log the values. Const collection equals, all right, let's call it message is collection equals collection. We pass the DB module and we select the messages collection. And I just want to show you guys like that that it's selecting there. So if I do that and then I go here, it shows me that I have access to the messages collection inside of Firestore. And it has a bunch of stuff, right? So now from here, I can do things like query it. I can do things like I don't know, like get references to it and listen to it and listen to when something's inserted or taken out. So that's how we select the collection. So inside a const queue query, instead of doing the collection call here, we can actually pass messages collection here. And now we need to, as we're making the query, we would like to order it first. So the order really matters, right? So order by created at and then descending. And then we need to limit it by, let's say, 50 messages. So that's our query that we're going to make. And let's just log that query to see what it looks like. We can delete that. Let's clear this out, refresh. So now the query is all set up to kind of query the Firestore. So we need to tell it, it has the operations inside. And now it's selecting some kind of collection. And it's now it's ready to be used. So let's go. I wish you could actually see the so it's type query. Okay, so the explicit order by, so that's the order by that we entered. And then the path to the collection is inside of the segment messages. So it's ready to be used. So now we need to make a subscriber to the the collection. So unsubscribe equals on snapshot. So that's the on snapshot's listening to changes in the database. And then we pass the query. And now when that happens, it's a snapshot of what the database looks like at the moment. So we'll take that and we will console.log query snap. Wait one second. Query snapshot. Query snapshot equals query snapshot. And then just to clean it up, we can just return unsubscribe. Cool. Get messages not assignable to this. So we need to put a hard I think this is how you do it. Yeah. All right. So now the query snapshot's happening and we are getting access to some data, the documents. Documents have 16 inside of here. And there's 16 messages in the Firestore, I guess. So that's what we're doing now, and we need to convert it into actual usable data. So let's get started. And I'm sure if I just so this query snapshot did it once on the load, and I just want to show you guys this. If I potentially deleted something from here, let's say let's delete one for myself actually. All right, there you go. Let's delete this document. start delete. It just snapshot once more. So it was 2, but now it's 4. And let's just delete one more of mine. So now it's listening. So now there's 6 query snapshots logs. So it's listening every single time there's a change in the database. So that's pretty powerful, but it does get costly later on down the road for Firestore. We do not have a payment plan on here yet, so we're going to get limited after however, like there's a big free tier, but once you get past that free tier, it gets pretty expensive. So yeah, for small time applications, it's fine. So let's keep going. So now we have a snapshot. Now we can say const fetched messages equals an array. And I'm just gonna put any. And then we can take query snapshot dot for each on the doc. Whoops. And then we can say fetched messages dot push. So we're gonna push in the readable data that comes from query snapshot. So we're gonna push we're gonna spread the doc data. So that's a method off of the document to get like readable data, and then the ID will equal doc.id. So that's how we're going to make our data. And I'll just show you here, console.log fetched messages equals fetched messages. If we look at this, now it is in readable data that we can kind of use. So that is pretty cool. So now, and then now we need to consort messages equals fetched messages dot sort on AB, and then we'll just say a dot created at, just to be safe, b dot created at, and then console.log sort call it sorted messages. Now they should be sorted accordingly by the created timestamp. So I think Minnie said what's up first, and then the last one was what's up, guys. See what it should do. And then we will just set messages to the sorted messages. And inside of here, for now, let us just what is this? JSON.stringify on messages. Cool. So now we kind of, or let's wrap it with a pre. I wonder if I just do like this. Now it'll work. Let's wrap it with a pre for now. Okay. So now we're done. No, just kidding. For a programmer, I feel like this UI is beautiful, to be honest. But we gotta make it beautiful to the general public. So let's get started. And now we need to post things into here and see if it's all working. So now we have everything hooked up. It's pretty powerful. Like if we just put something in there, we should see the snapshot happening, and it should every single time I push something in or insert something into the Firestore, it should run this subscribe function, and it should reset the messages, right? So let's do that. And we'll do the types later. Why did you name it unsubscribe cons? It's confusing. Because then it reminds me to unsubscribe in the cleanup afterwards. It's just what the documentation usually says. Like I know it's a subscriber, but in the cleanup of the use effect, it's just it reminds you to unsubscribe. It's a subscribe that needs to be unsubscribed. Yes. All right, so which happens here. Return unsubscribe. So is that cool, Kelvin? All right. All right. Now we need to make the actual input that'll post the messages into the Firestore. It should be a lot easier now that we have everything connected. So let's make a new component called send message. And then import here we'll do import useState because we have to track the message that we're writing. So that's and then we gotta import auth.db from the modules that we made earlier. And I'll be back in 60 seconds. 1 second, please. Everybody should get like a cup of water. We'll chug through the next 1 second. Okay. Hello. I had to get some water and actually use the bathroom for a second. Takes me about a week to fully understand after this. Got it. But Firebase and Firestore is a very easy implementation of the chat. I think Socket.io, creating those events and emitting and then passing it through the server is a great way too, but Firestore kind of has it all subscribed to the database and it makes it very easy. And if you guys ever have any questions like over the week, don't be afraid to reach out as I will explain it as best I can. And by the way, the ID here is the same ID. Takes me about a week to, this ID here is the same ID as the what's inside the Firestore. These document IDs. So if you see K5 here, and I'd go like here, I'll be able to find that document. Cool. So we'll get started once more. All right, so we'll make a export default function send message. And here we'll actually pass scroll. And then we'll pass the scroll is current and yeah, just copy paste this stuff. Give me a second. There you go. All right. Yeah. So now, first thing we need to do is have some state variable const message that we're sending now. That message equals uState, and that's like a string. And const send message, that's the function that we're going to make now. And I'll make an async function. Now, there is something, if you're signed in, there's something called auth.currentUser. So we'll take advantage of that. So when we send the message, it knows who we are. So we'll say const current user equals auth.currentUser. And from there, we're gonna need just we'll do it in a second. And I'm gonna put that inside here actually. And we'll console.log current user. Current user. And now we're just gonna return form and on submit equals event whoops send message send message needs to take an event, and that's going to be a react.form event at the HTML form element. It's just types. It's console.log PD here as well. Cool. So, whoa, escape. All right. Now, first thing I would like to do is put a class name on this guy called send message. And we'll say label HTML4 equals message input. And it's going to be hidden. And now we're going to have whoops, enter message. And then here, input, self-close. And we got to pass a bunch of props. ID equals message input. So that's what the label's for. Name equals message input. And type equals the text input. And class name equals, and then form input double underscore input, and that's just a selector from the CSS file. And the placeholder will equal type message, and the value is the message that we set in uState, and then the on change is the E, and it's going to set message to e.target.value. All right, and then it infers that it's the event from here, the React change event. And then right next to there, we'll have a button, type equals submit. Send button. So let's see what that looks like. Whoops. And in the chat box, we'll just import it here. Import send message from send message. And instead of using the input here, we'll just add the send message here. Like so. And then it said it needs scroll, because after we send something, it's going to send the ref to scroll down. All right, and so now we have this type message. Let me check here. Inside of here, it has some sticky bottom stuff, position 0, absolute hello. Now it reloads because the form event reloads. So we need to prevent that default from happening. So the way we do that is inside of our send message component, first thing we actually need to do is prevent the default from happening, right? So let's just event.prevent default. So now if I refresh, hello. So now I see my current user, which is the user object. And when I press this enter, I should probably want to scroll to the bottom. So let's do that too. So that's gonna be this little function that we'll do at the last point, scroll dot current dot scroll into view and behavior, and we'll say smooth. I think that should work. So if I'm up here and I say hello, it should smoothly scroll to the bottom or scroll into the view. So it's happening something. So whoops. Let's keep going. All right. Now we need to put the logic of what we actually need to do. So now we need to add the document into the Firestore. So what we're going to need to do is close this guy and third-party library. Let's keep those. So import add doc. That's the Firestore operation that we're going to do. Collection. That's the messages collection, how we select it. And then server time stamp is how we're going to make the created at. So from Firebase, Firestore. There you go. All right, cool. So there we are. So now, first thing in the logic that we should do is trim message for white space at front and back. 2, we should create document structure. So that's like the it's gonna be avatar created at, which is server timestamp, UID, the name, the text, and the ID. So let's get started. The UID is the user ID. So create document structure. And if someone wants to make a type for that, go ahead. No, all right. So and then we need to 3 add the document. All right, so let's go. Let's go. So the first thing, if message dot trim, so if that equals empty string, we need to just return alert. Whoops. Alert. Enter valid message, please. And then from there, if we get past that guard, now we need to create our message. So const doc, let's call it message doc equals, and then the message doc will say alert. Did I forget the last parenthesis? No. All right, so the message doc we see that we have avatar. So avatar, and then that's gonna come from the current user dot, let's see what we have. Photo URL. Cool. And then next we have created at. That's going to be our server timestamp. The server timestamp. What else do we have next? We have UID, which will be the what is it? Current user dot UID. And next we have name. So that's going to be current user dot name. display name. And whoops. Name, and then we have the next, we have text. So that's going to be the message. And next we're going to have the ID, which will be the, one second. The ID gets created automatically, so we're good there. So that's the message doc. And let's just make a type real quick. 1 second. Type message doc equals, or yeah, equals. And let's just bring these guys up. Bam. And then ID is optional. That's a string. All those guys. So basically they're all strings. And this one, it should have field value and field value dot timestamp. Field value dot, okay. That should be a string. Crap. Just get all these guys. Those are all strings. And that's a string too. I thought it was like field value dot server timestamp, but here, let's look it up real quick. Firestore server timestamp TypeScript. Yeah, it's field value dot server timestamp, I thought. Let's see here. All right, let's just do type of server timestamp like this. Can I do that? All right, this one I'll just put an any for now. All right. That's how you do it. Do you need these commas? I don't think so. Let's say, oh, it's semicolons. Um, all right, so we have our message doc, and we can say the message doc is this. Whoops. Oh, crap. All right, so null or und. Sometimes that can be null. Sometimes that can be null. Sometimes that can be null. Fix it. And then we UID name text. We need UID name and avatar. That fix it. All right. Now we created the document structure. That's number 2 that we did. And then now we need to add the doc. So await add doc. And then we need to get the collection. So const messages collection equals collection, pass the DD module, and then pass the name of the collection we want. And usually these strings I put in like a enum later, other place, but we'll just do like this for now. Messages collection, and then we'll send the message doc here. And then after we add the doc, we're going to set message back to nothing and scroll into view. Can I do like, is there another scroll to bottom? Scroll. All right. Scroll. Scroll into view, I guess. All right. All right, so let's go back and add hello world. It scrolls to top. But if I'm on the bottom anyways, hello, now it goes to the top for some reason. We'll fix that, but put messages map here, and then our new messages are coming in. Hello world. We'll add some padding in a second. So cool. All right, now send message is basically done. And now we need to kind of make these JSON blocks look like messages. So let's just make another component called message. All right, so message.tsx. I got my notes. So we can say import auth module from /Firebase and import use auth state from React Firebase. And then const message, put that up, export default function message. And this guy will need a message. And that is going to be message at the message doc that we created earlier inside of send message. And we'll export this type from here, actually. So we'll get the message doc. UID avatar name and text is all we need, so we can use I think a pick. Let's see how we use pick. TypeScript pick. So we have an interface to do. Required pick. Where's pick? Pick. All right, pick, and then the keys that we need. So pick, and we pass in that, and then we're going to need. I know that we're going to need keys of UID, avatar, name, whoops, name, and text. The pick is a TypeScript method, and it just picks off these types from the type that we create. So yeah, so now we have a type on there, and then we can say that's going to return. So that's going to take the user equals use auth state, and then we pass the auth module. This guy will listen to it too, because we need to listen to who. So we need to put our messages on the right side and then the other guy's message on the left side. So let us do that real quick. So return and div, and we'll say class name equals, and we're gonna do something fancy here. Backtick chat. So it's gonna be chat bubble, and then the next one will be it's gonna be right or left, right or nothing. So chat bubble, and then in here, so we're gonna do ternary if message.uid equals on the user.uid, right? That's because that's me. If that is me, I'm going to add the class of right, and if not, we can just force it at nothing. And that's going to be null sometimes, so we got to put a question mark. All right, and now we can say image and class name equals chat bubble left, src equals message.avatar comes in, and the alt will be user avatar. Why is SRC? Oh, because let's just wait. Let's just do this. All right. Now that's gonna handle the image. And then now we can say class name equals chat bubble, right? All right, oh, chat bubble, right? And then P, we gotta show the text now, and we gotta show the username. So class name equals username, and this one class name equals user message, and that's gonna come from the message.name, and this is gonna come from the message.text. All right, cool. So now we got our message displayer. So now we can just import the message in our chat box. Okay. So import what was it? Message and dot slash message. And now we can just instead of our message where I told them to map here, map messages here. Instead of doing the span, oh, that's what was happening. All right. Let me self-close that guy. All right. And then inside of this messages wrapper, we can say messages dot map on message, and we can say, and that's going to return, so it's just a one-liner message, and we'll say key equals message dot id, and message equals message. And also now, since we have that message doc thing, we can do message doc this, then this one. Then set any. All right, now let's take a look at our UI. All right, now we have a nice little UI. Yo, what's up? Cool. Okay. All right. That's basically it. We made a cool chat room, and I can sign out. I can sign in, and I see all the messages that we see.
Let's give it a shot. Can you send us a link?
Oh yeah, 1 second. ngrok HTTP on 5173. Let me see here. Wait, I need this. There we go. Inside of our Firestore, wherever that is. Here? No. Firebase console. Firebase console. Firebase auth. Authentication settings. Authorized domains. Just add this domain here. Add. And then I can share this guys with you. I'll go in there too.
Take a screenshot as well of this.
I need to
Beautiful.
take a screenshot.
Now I'll take a screenshot of this when I get in
Um,
there because I wanna. It's a good. It's pretty lit, dude.
Yeah, we got we got through it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, uh, and all the messages are getting put into the Firestore from here. So pretty powerful. We got through the lesson. It was fun. Alu, jelly. It's delicious. Uh,
Let me let me get in this action. Is Ngrok like a free self-hosting, like hosting from your computer?
um, yeah, so it tunnels the my host into um like link that they provide, and I can just like for like, and it gives an HTTPS certificate too. It's an HTTPS link, so you can use it for testing like anything that needs an SSL certificate as well, right? So I think it's pretty good for those purposes, and you can just brew install ngrok and put in your auth token and get it to use. Oh, yeah, so it's that's exactly it. And it's very easy to use. And if you ever want to like share something you have like on localhost, you can share it with the world for only while it's open. So yeah. Does that answer your question, Kyle? Yeah. So it's you know, yeah, you can just do it well only while it's on. But thank you for joining. We got through it. We did a bunch of Firestore subscriptions, Google login, and I think it was pretty fun. And Google login is super easy with Firebase because Firebase is Google's, and it's a lot easier to implement.
By the way, I just want to say one thing. We have the coding accountability channel that just opened up. So it's for you guys to code and share with you guys what you learned today and motivate others. Keep yourself disciplined so you do code every day. Once you get that train. Jocelyn is pretty well known in the mentorship program for being doing that. She's like the one who has like a I don't know like the 3 month streak. So she'll show us an example of it. I'm sure coming up here in a few hours. But yeah, thank you guys for joining us. Now
Yeah,
we'll chill here a little bit.
yeah. I think this was you know, a lot of things we did with like the random users with the mapping with the component like 2 weeks ago or something. And then the Firebase authentication, and then it all comes together. And now we have like pieces that we can kind of put together and kind of make bigger things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's gonna be lit. You guys can take this project, style however you want, put it on your resume.
This is
It's a good
that is
project.
it's just a front end using Firestore to fetch and display messages, no backend involved. That is correct, but the backend is Firestore. So it is a static site. It can be hosted in S3, and yeah, the backend is handled by SDK. It's pretty cool. You guys can open up your own like Firebase account and change the API keys, and you'll have access to it. But I had fun today.
I did too.
Yeah. Hopefully you guys learned a lot, and it was
Honestly,
cool.
it was a lot of info. Gotta go back and watch it again.
Yeah, it was a lot of info.
It's good.
It's useful. It's useful.
Very useful.
Yeah. How many people we got in here still? We have one, two, wait, one, two, three, four. Oh,
We got 7 people still chilling here with us.
thanks for chilling, Jake, Kelvin, TJ, Jocelyn, Kevin. iPhone. Kyle.
Kyle
I
and I
know.
were hanging out yesterday, dude. He had a pretty cool idea. I'll talk to you about that later.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
But definitely the accountability, I think, will you know, it'll bring people together as well and like motivate each other.
definitely.
Yeah,
Take part of it. I hope you guys who are in here right now, like I hope you guys can share with us like, you're doing your coding for the day. It's gonna really help the community and hopefully help you as well. So,
definitely. And
if you guys
I'll
have
just
any questions now, the floor is yours. Check it out.
nice. Any questions?
Doesn't have to be about the lesson either.
Yeah, it could be about what you're doing today, what I'm
Yeah.
doing. You want to know why my hair got so healthy, dude? Minnie,
What's that?
check this out, dude. The brush, dude. Brush.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
All right, Jocelyn, thank you for joining us.
Yes,
One of
thank
the
you.
OGs of the community.
All right. What are you gonna do? What are you doing after this, Minnie?
Probably gym. You gonna hit the gym too? Or...
Yeah, I'm gonna hit the gym and then
Yeah.
get to coding and I
Yeah.
think talk to Scott later too.
Yeah, yeah. Let's talk to Scott. You know,
Yeah.
what are you guys up to? Or what time is it? I think honestly though, we might have to realistically, we might have to change the time.
Yeah. I can do Sunday night, which would be a
Sunday
more
night, yeah. That's what I was thinking.
which would be a more Saturday or Sunday morning for everyone, right?
It would be, yeah, Sunday morning. And some people it would be actually it feels like it would be
Afternoon.
even Sunday night for them. Because for a lot of people watching, apparently it's like they're only like 6 hours behind or something, or 7 hours.
Mm,
So it'd be like afternoon for them, yeah, like you said. Yeah, thank you, Calvin. Appreciate you coming through as always.
Calvin. Tuning in from NYC. That's cool. We're going to New York like soon, Minnie, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. A couple of months.
Couple of months we'll be there. Going to the headquarters of WAP, right?
Yeah. Yeah, man, Kyle, thanks for sticking around, brother. Um, we appreciate you being here.
Definitely. And I think, like these kind of skills, I'm using them like every day, like just trying to like give actual cool stuff that you guys can learn really fast.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
Look at Jocelyn already typing away, dude, in the coding accountability, dude. She's gonna start it off for us.
it's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, she can show you the way, guys, and then I hope all of you guys, every single one of you, take part in it. It really does help to code every day.
Definitely. And just having a good community to kind of like
Oh
help
yeah,
that,
for sure.
I
Yeah,
think is really good.
definitely, definitely.
We got Jackson in here. I think Jackson is probably iPhone 3, right?
Could be. I kind of put the chat room in everyone in
Oh,
the
or
Discord community right now.
okay, okay.
Yeah. I think it'd be cool to like just keep it on for a little bit if that's cool with you.
Uh, Maybe, yeah.
If you close it, does it like stop working?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay. All right.
but I mean, I guess I could deploy it.
Yeah, that's fine, Jake. Yeah. Just when you wake up, do it. And there's a XP bar as well. There's like a leaderboard. Like it's not just like a thing where you just post it. There's actually like a leaderboard whenever you post your accountability, it levels you up. And then, we'll see who's the champ at the end of the month.
That's
You know,
right.
I'll start recording now, boys.